Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who do not know me, I am ASMR Majestic. Please remember to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And you know what? Let's see if we can get this video to 300 likes, 300 likes, 300 likes. And down below, let me know the worst Valentine gift you got, or the worst Valentine dinner, or your worst Valentine, or your worst Valentine experience. You know, let me know down below, because I'm pretty sure I am not the only one. So, if you watched my last video, you know, actually yesterday's video, you know I had some dental work done on my mouth, along with a tooth extraction. So, I'm talking very slowly, and my mouth hurts like hell right now, if I'm being honest. I declined any pain medicine, and many of you know why. So I'm straight thugging this shit out. I haven't, in like the last 3 days, I probably slept no more than like 10 hours in 3 days. And I probably eaten no more than 100 calories all week. Like, Anyway, this video is going to be some crazy Valentine stories. Now, for those of you who do not have a Valentine, please don't worry about it. Everything is overly priced. Restaurants are packed for no reason. It's just another day to spend money, especially. I'm trying to think, has it even been like 7 weeks since Christmas? We just spent all this money on Christmas, and we're turning around and doing it for Valentine's Day. And Valentine's Day, it's not even a holiday. So for those like myself that do not have a Valentine, it is okay. Trust and believe, it's okay. And to spend all this money on one day just to prove your love to someone, I personally think it's utterly ridiculous. And that's why I was never really big on Valentine's Day. But I do have to say this. And also, before I go into that, I just think it's a waste of time to spend, like, you know, for a good bouquet of like roses, it's like $150 for them to turn around and die in 3 days. I myself don't eat chocolate, nor do I care for candy, but I am a big fan of cards, because I think cards, you know, and I even see men in, you know, the aisles actually trying to pick out the perfect card, you know, and sitting there reading, and I actually appreciate that more than flowers and gifts, because the card you can keep is sentimental, and I'm always curious on what, you know, somebody writes in a card. So, but if any of you remember my story time with my sister's wedding, I know many of you have requested on me doing that story. I don't know if I want to do that story again, only because just family reasons. But I might retell that story on my Patreon. That reminds me, if you want longer videos for true crime or just me rambling and talking, think about joining my Patreon. But that guy that I was talking about in my sister's wedding, his birthday was on Valentine's Day. So this month should I spend money on you, meaning me, when it's his birthday? And again, I am not the Valentine person, but you can't give me a card. Really? Another time, my ex, who caused my attack, he used to do stuff like I don't even know if he really forgot it was Valentine's Day or not, or he just didn't give a shit. But I remember one year he walked in the house, and it's so funny because back then I used to be a smoker, and I used to stop at this certain gas station to get my stuff. And and then if you wanted like a beer or something, I would still stop at the same gas station. So he comes in really late on Valentine's Day one year, and he was like, "Oh, happy Valentine's Day." As soon as he gave me the shit, I knew exactly that he got it from the gas station. Bro, I'd rather you have kept your fucking, it was such an insult that you got me something from the Shell station. Wait, what? I don't go there almost every day. I just can't. Anywho, so many of you know that I went to, or maybe you don't know, I went to a Catholic high school, and I do know they also had this in public school, but around Valentine's Day, for $1, you were able to buy whoever you wanted, like flowers, candy, cards, balloons. Everything was for $1, and all you had to do was pay, and then just tell the name of the person you wanted delivered to. Now this was a big deal because at the end of the day, the people would go around and they would look for everyone and they would deliver, people's stuff. You did not want to be that girl that didn't receive anything, anything. And my mother actually reminded me of this yesterday, just to get me to laugh because I was so miserable with my mouth. But I used to spend $10 on myself. I used to buy 2 of everything, like 2 balloons, 2 cards, 2 candies, and each year I would do something different so people wouldn't catch on. Out here, high school is from 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. I know some high schools are only from 10, 11, and 12, but up here it's 9, 10, 11, and 12. So I would make sure that I would not be the one who got embarrassed. And so I used to buy myself stuff every year. Although I did not have to do that. I used to get a lot of stuff, a lot of stuff on Valentine's Day for, from people from school. I remember one year, it was actually my senior year, and I got so many balloons that I actually had to get 2 other people to drive behind me to my house because I couldn't fit all the balloons in my car. I had so much shit that year. So that is my little secret. Okay. Second, this one is not my story, but I was a witness. So, before my attack, I actually had a life. I had a career. I was an accountant. I was making really good money. I was making like 80 plus was a year. I had friends. I was taking care of my nephew by myself. I had a condo. I had my shit together, you know. And I would go out and everything else. So my friend at the time, our boyfriend called me and was like, you know, can you gather up all the girls and be at this restaurant by this certain date and time? And he actually let me know that he was going to propose to her and that he wanted everything perfect, and he was asking me about, you know, her favorite song, this and that. So, you know, I got the girls together, but I'm gonna be honest, something just didn't stick right with me, because again, she was my friend and he was around for maybe 3 years, and I just knew his character, and this was just a little far-fetched for him. It was just something that I would not expect him to do. But I'm like, okay, you know what? It's a proposal, so maybe he wanted to be extra special or whatever. And he even told me that I can bring my nephew, and, you know, he was inviting our friends, family, and his, and everything else. So I'm assuming, you know what? Maybe because it's a proposal, he's going all out. But ladies, this is what I'm telling you. Listen to your intuition. Listen to your gut, because I just knew something was off. But anyway, so the day comes and we're all there, and, you know, he was like, everything is on him. We can order whatever we wanted. And, I don't want to say it was a free bar, but we can have as much champagne as we wanted to. And if we wanted any other type of liquor, we had to pay. So, you know, your girl was sticking with the champagne. But of course, I didn't have a lot because I had my nephew at the time with me. So, we're sitting there, we're waiting, and I'm like, oh my god, now remember, my friend has no idea what's going on. So, she walks in and she's like, what is this? And, you know, we're all smiling and stuff. And so, as soon as she arrives, the restaurant, everything gets dimmed, the lights get dimmed and everything. And like I said, he went all out, but there was something that was just, I don't know. And then the lights dimmed and he played their favorite song, whether it was her song or their song, I don't know. But the song started playing, and he had like these little girls come down with like flower petals. That's what I'm saying. Like, it was more like a wedding-ish type of thing, but something was just not right, y'all. So then she's like now crying because she's now realizing what's going on or whatever. And then this guy came to the door with a box. Wait, is that how they did it? It was a box. No. Matter of fact, he walked out after the girls with the rose petals. He walked out, he got on one knee, and she was so focused on him that he opened up the box with the ring, and then another voice was like, will you marry me? And then when she looked up, she was in shock, y'all. My friend, was a dark-skinned girl, and the reason why I had to point that out is because she went completely pale. Like, she was in a coffin, pale. Like, it looked like someone punched her in the gut and she was about to throw up but didn't want to, or maybe she was constipated or had, you know, bathroom issues. She had so many emotions written on her face. And so when we all looked up, yes, I knew, was just too good. And the factor that we knew him, it was just, so yeah, did I know? Yes, she has been having an affair. But the other guy, as long as she was with her fiance or her almost fiance, I don't even know. But when I say for anyone to sit there and go through all of that, pay for a restaurant, have an open bar for champagne, we were able to order like appetizers, dinner, evening care, everything was on him. And he was actually, I was trying to think like what he did, but he was actually a counselor, and he also coached football for high school. So he just looked at her and he just closed the box and he said, yeah, I think I don't have to say anything else. And then this is he. Then there was a video that started playing, like when he got up from like proposing whatever on a table. He had like a tablet, and this is when like things just started, like iPhones and stuff just started becoming popular. And there was actually a video of her kissing him or something outside of, I'm not even sure where. And then there was another time that he had video of her like making out with him in a car. So, and that timestamp was like a week prior to this whole engagement. So yeah, like once I saw that, and you know what, my friend gave me some shit the next day, because once I saw all of that, I grabbed my nephew and I'm like, yeah, it's time to go. Because see, the aftermath of that could have been very, very messy, and I wanted no part of it. I didn't want my nephew part of it. I didn't want to come out of my character, because I just knew if stuff got real, it was gonna get real. So I grabbed my nephew and I left. And that night, like, my friend was so mad, like, why didn't you defend me? And I'm like, defend you how? Bitch, you were wrong. And I even told her she was wrong because it was just too close. It was just too close for comfort, you know? You were bound to get caught. Like, you were bound to get caught. And like I told her, I said I had a little one to worry about. Like, I'm not gonna get into your shenanigans with my nephew, like with me. Like, absolutely not. Like, we're not doing that. I do remember though that like after he tried to walk out and she got on her knees and she was begging him like, please, I'm sorry. And he was walking away, and like, you know, she was holding onto his leg, and you know, she was being not dragged because he was trying to walk away. But I remember her mother was like so embarrassed for her, and she was like, get off your knees and stop begging. You know, you got yourself into this mess, so now you gotta, you know, deal with it, basically. It was pathetic though on how she was begging, because at that point, you know, I would have just left. I wouldn't have begged in front of anybody or like begged for forgiveness. That's something I would have done like after hours type of thing, if that's what she really wanted to do. But I tell you like this, your girl would not have been begging in front of, I would say there was at least 150 people there. I'm just making sure I mentioned everything from that story. Okay, so moving on. Okay, this next I think I did this one next. This story here. So we are all adults here. So one year, one of my boyfriends this whole big dinner thing or whatever. The dinner sucked, by the way. And so, he had this box, and he wanted me to, like, it was like a sexual box, you know, and I had to choose like 3 things out of the box, and whatever I chose is what was gonna happen that night. And so, I don't know why this dude tried to put in like anal, but he did, and of course, that's the one your girl chose. Now, at this point, I have never tried anal. I never had the desire to do so. Like, it just there's just certain holes that should not be touched. I'm just being honest. So, he decided to use he tried to use water as lube. Water as lube. Water as lube. Water as lube. I repeat, water is not lube. Water is not lube. It was just a hot mess. And because this is YouTube, I'm gonna leave it at that. That night did not go well at all. Like, at all. Nope. Actually, he got so frustrated that night that I don't even think we ended up doing anything, because I was just so, like, it was just like, why would you even put that in there? And then my dumb ass was like, okay, but then I'm like, no. Crazy, right? I have 2 more stories left to tell. They're very quick, but during my drug-induced days, it's so funny because actually 2 things happened that day, so it was still another year, Valentine's Day. And you know, I had my little drug crew, not bragging, not proud of it, but it's also something that I don't hide. And so, we were just, I'll just use the words, we was high as, baked out, whatever you want to call it, and I'm not gonna go into what type of drugs or anything I was on. That's strictly for Patreon. I let everything out. But the first time we actually was so high, we were hungry as, and it must have been like, I would say maybe like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and we decided to go to McDonald's, and we went to the dollar menu, and I wasn't driving at this time, and honestly guys, I'm not even sure how we made it to McDonald's on the state that we were in, because the guy who was driving actually was high and also was drinking. Again, liquor was never my problem, but yeah, so we get to McDonald's and we order from the dollar menu, and he hands her a $10 bill. Now, after the fact, I realized what happened. She was like, oh my god, I gotta get you change. And so when she came back, she gave, I think it was like 90, she gave back like $92. Again, we gave her a $10 bill. It's obvious that she thought that he gave her $100, and that was not the case. So when he got the change back, he looked at us and he was like, holy shit, and all of us, you know, drug addicts was like, pull off. So we pulled off, and I'm pretty sure you know exactly where we went to after we got that extra money. So we did what we had to do. And now it was later on in the day, and we spent every cent we had from the mistake from McDonald's. We spent all of it on special activities. So by now we were hungry again, and we actually had the audacity to go to a restaurant. Now, the reason for this is because we were like kind of, I guess you could say we were car hopping, you know, from car to car to car, because at this point because we were doing special activities. And so when the bill came out, the bill was $250 something. No, I just told you we spent every dime on special activities. So I just said, I looked at the bill, and it's so funny because everyone was looking at one another, and by this point I had my car. I know, I wasn't in my right mind, y'all. There was two cars though. It was my car and we had another one. And remember, some of you might not know, but at this point, after my attack and my drug addiction days, I only was around people for special stuff. And so I was definitely a loner, but you do know, like, when you enter the drug world, sometimes you gotta be around people you don't want just to get what you want. So that was the case, but when we got this bill, I'm like, yeah. I nicely, slowly, I didn't make any sudden moves. I didn't like run out or anything. I acted like I didn't see the bill, but I saw it, and then I started like, what did I do with and I'm looking around, and someone was like, did you lose something? I'm like, yeah. And then I was like, I don't remember, honestly, I can't remember what I said, but somebody was like, well, maybe it's in the car. And then I started like, oh my god, if I lost it, I started being so dramatic. And then someone was like, oh, don't worry about it. And I'm like, don't worry about it. I'm like, do you want to do special things after we left here? Basically what I said. And they were like, yeah. I said, well, there was money in that thing or whatever. So they were like, oh my god, go to your car and go look for it. Yeah, I didn't have no money. I wasn't looking for shit. That was my opportunity to get in my car and drive off. Like, I wanted no part of that belt because I had no money. And actually, dude, the beauty of this is nobody actually knew where I lived. I never did activities at my apartment. Never, ever, ever. I would go to them. I would meet up with them. We would meet in certain parking lots and stuff, but I never let people know where I lived, especially after my attack. Like, that just wasn't something I was down for. Especially at this point of the story I'm telling you about. So, I left and my phone blew up, but I just turned my phone off, went home and went to sleep. By the next day, I don't even think I asked, because I don't even think I met up with them until maybe a week later or something. And by then, we were probably all so high that no one probably even remembered the incident. And honestly, I'm not even sure how they got out of it, because I didn't care. Damn. And lastly, now this one, my mother also reminded me of, and this one had me in tears yesterday. I had an ice pack on my mouth, and I just was laughing, and I had to cut the phone because I guess I was like popping stitches in my mouth, because then I started tasting blood, so I had to stop the conversation. But if anyone remembers, I think, don't quote me, I think it was that show called Girlfriends, I think. But anyway, it was like the same situation. I went on a blind date. I had no idea why I let someone talk me into this shit, but I did. And I went on this blind date, and when he walked in, there was just something not portioned right about this man, and I couldn't wrap my brain around it. And anyway, we went to a restaurant. He actually booked this reservation for Valentine's Day, and I was actually surprised. It was a really, really nice restaurant, and we had reservations, and we didn't have to wait. And so when we sat down, I noticed that he was very fidgety. Like, if people don't know what that word means, he was just like moving around a lot, like something was bothering, just fidgety, just, like he was uncomfortable, or like maybe nervous, or something, just little movements, And then I said to him, "Are you okay? You know, like, what's wrong?" And he's like, "Oh no, everything's fine, you know." Then he was asking me, did I like the food, this and that. And then abruptly he's like, "I'm sorry, please excuse me." When he got up, he went to the bathroom and he just looked so uncomfortable. And then I'm saying to myself, well, maybe the food was messing with his stomach and he had to go to the bathroom and he was like embarrassed or something. I wasn't sure what was happening. Y'all. When he came out that bathroom, all I'm gonna say is, this man, I knew this man was either wearing a girdle, Spanx, Skims, whatever you want to call it, Skins, whatever Kim K is selling. At this prompt moment, I didn't even know there was girdles for guys. When he came out that bathroom, he must have taken off his girdle, because I could not believe the before and after, the before and after, the before and after. And after he took off whatever he took off, it was clear as that girdle was the only reason why his shirt and pants fit. Like, it was a struggle. And then when he came out, he was so sweaty. Like, he actually had a fight with this girdle in the bathroom. Like, it was just such a turn off. Like, I'd rather you have came into the restaurant fat, because that right there, that was like, again, I know, and I know some guys are sitting there saying, well, don't you girls wear like fake eyelashes, fake this and that? I don't do that. Like, my nails are actually mine. I don't wear fake lashes. I don't even wear much makeup. Like, I'm not that fake type. And honestly speaking, the only time I probably would ever even think about like wearing Spanx or whatever is if like I had to go to a wedding, or if I had to wear like a skin tight dress or something like that. But other than that, I am who I am. If I'm fat, I'm fat. If I'm skinny, I'm skinny. Like, I'm not sucking in nothing. As you get older, you realize that all that hiding shit it's too much work, because you hide it and then you have to hide it when you get home. You gotta hide it in pictures, and it's like, just get it out the way. Show your full body, show exactly what you are, and then keep it moving. You know, I'm not doing none of that shit. I'm not, but I get it. You know, some people want to do the eyelashes, and you know, people are drawing on like eyebrows. That I can understand, and I do like in my pictures. Although I no longer do OnlyFans, I do like to wear a ponytail because my hair is short. My hair used to be long, but it's now very short. It's brittle. It's breaking, and because of my anxiety, I play with it a lot. I break it off a lot. So, but the most I will go is like wearing a ponytail. But yeah, my nails, these are mine, unless it breaks. So I don't know, but that whole girdle thing with that guy, I mean, I guess to each his own, and I get it, but it was just a no for me. And I think the fact that I knew he went to World War IV in that bathroom getting it off, it just ruined the whole night. And yeah, so yeah, that's all the stories I have for you guys for today. My mouth hurts again, and